Good to see you safe, Inquisitor. We've got trouble ahead.
If you're on edge, I should alert the entire Inquisition.
Or increase my hazard pay. That's an option.
Are things that bad?
Crestwood was the site of a flood 10 years ago during the Blight. It's not the only rift in the area, but after it appeared, corpses started walking out of the lake. You'll have to fight through them to get to the cave where Sir Hawke's Grey Warden friend is hiding.
More walking corpses. At least they won't be a surprise.
I nearly stepped on one in the grass the other night, before it started moaning. Maybe someone in Crestwood can tell you how to get to the rift in the lake. Maker knows they'll want help. Good luck, and please be safe.
It's just us. I brought the Inquisitor.
Warden Loghain McTeer. I believe we have a common cause, Inquisitor.
There was a Loghain who joined the Wardens after he lost for Eldon's throne.
The Traitor Terran. Yes. I've heard all the names.
Then that's you.
I've been a Warden for 10 years. They will never fully consider me theirs. Something I've had cause to be grateful for recently.
Most of you Wardens disappear. Then I run into a Darkspawn Magister named Corypheus. Do you think that one might have something to do with the other?
I believe so. After Hawke killed Corypheus, Weishaupt was content to forget the whole affair. If an archdemon can survive seemingly mortal wounds, why not Corypheus? I began to investigate. I found evidence, but no proof. And then, soon after, every warden in Orlais began to hear the calling.
I recall that being a bad thing, but I don't recall you telling me about all this.
I didn't believe it concerned you.
I came here for information about Corypheus. The calling doesn't concern me.
Yes, it does. The calling warns a Grey Warden that his corruption will soon claim him, that he is dying.
And every Grey Warden in Orlais is hearing that right now. They think they're dying.
Yes. Thanks to Corypheus, I believe. If the Wardens fall, who will stop the next Blight? That is what's panicked my brethren.
And then they do something desperate. Which is, of course, what Corypheus wants.
Is the calling they're hearing real, or is Corypheus mimicking it somehow?
I don't know. Even as a senior Warden, I knew little about him. The Wardens believe it to be real, despite my warnings about Corypheus. That is all that matters at the moment.
You said all the Wardens are hearing the calling. Does that include you?
Yes. It's like an itch in the back of my mind. At times, it's barely there at all. But then I find myself starting to hum it under my breath. It is vile. I can understand why so many Wardens have gone mad from fear of it.
How can Corypheus make all these Wardens hear the calling?
I don't know. It's likely part of his nature. Corypheus is, or was, once a mortal man. The Blight owns him, but it did not create him. Wardens are tied to the Blight through the Darkspawn. That is how Corypheus influences Warden minds. Somehow he is using that power to mimic the calling.
We need the Warden's help. This is the worst possible time for such lunacy.
A Blight nearly destroyed Ferelden. A Blight without Wardens to stop it might well destroy the world. Warden Commander Clarel proposed a ritual involving blood magic. A desperate measure to prevent further blights. When I protested the plan, called it madness, they tried to arrest me. Grey Wardens are gathering here, in the western approach. It's an ancient Tevinter ritual tower. Meet me there, and we will
Inquisitor, welcome to the western approach. We've sighted Warden activity to the southwest, but no one's been close enough to figure out what they're doing. Between the sandstorms and the vicious wildlife, we haven't made it far out here. One of my men got too close to a poison hot spring and gave me a slightly delirious report of a high dragon flying overhead. In short, this might just be the worst place in the entire world. Be careful out there.
Well, it's good to know what I'm in for.
Sorry I don't have more for you. We intercepted a Venatori messenger and, persuaded him to give up the orders he was carrying. We have them here. This entire place. It just feels like something's not right. Be careful.
Whatever's happening has already started. We saw lights coming from the tower.
Blood magic, I'd wager. You can smell it. Or see the corpses. You take point. I'll guard your backs.
Wait! No.
Warden Commander Clarel's orders were clear.
This is wrong!
Remember your oath. In war, victory. In peace, vigilance. In death, I'm sorry. Sacrifice. Good. Now bind it just as I showed you. Inquisitor! What an unexpected pleasure. Lord Livius Eramond of Virantium, at your service.
You're no warden, Mage.
But you are. The one Clarel let slip. And you found the Inquisitor and came to stop me. Shall we see how that goes?
It looks like you've already done some of my work for me.
What, him? We simply needed his blood. Oh, were you hoping to garner sympathy? Maybe make the Wardens feel a bit of remorse? Wardens, hands up! Hands down.
Corypheus controls them.
They did this to themselves. You see, the calling had the Wardens terrified. They looked everywhere for help.
In desperation, they turned to the Imperium.
Yes, and since it was my master who put the calling into their little heads, we in the Venatori were prepared. I went to Clarel full of sympathy, and together we came up with a plan. Raise a demon army, march into the deep roads, and kill the old gods before they wake.
Ah, I was wondering when the demon army would show up.
You knew about it, did you? Well then, here you are. Sadly for the Wardens, the binding ritual I taught their mages has a side effect. They're now my master's slaves. This was a test. Once the rest of the Wardens complete the ritual, the army will conquer Thedas.
Do you really want to see the world fall to the Blight? What do you get out of this?
The Elder One commands the Blight. He is not commanded by it, like the mindless Darkspawn. The Blight is not unstoppable or uncontrollable. It is simply a tool.
Somebody's certainly a tool.
As for me, while the Elder One rules from the Golden City, We, the Venatori, will be his god kings here in the world.
So Corypheus influenced the Wardens and made them do this ritual.
Made them? No! Everything you see here, the blood sacrifices to bind the demons, the Wardens did it of their own free will. Fear is a very good motivator, and they were very afraid. You should have seen Clarel agonize over the decision. Burdens of command, I suppose.
Why would the Wardens try to kill the old gods?
A blight happens when dark spawn find an old god and corrupt it into an archdemon. If someone fought through the deep roads and killed the old gods before they could be corrupted... Woof, no more blights, ever. The Wardens sacrificed their lives and saved the world.
That's madness. For all we know, killing the old gods could make things even worse.
Well then, it's a good thing I'm taking this demon army off their hands.
Why would Clarel risk using demons?
Demons need no food, no rest, no healing. Once bound, they will never retreat, never question orders. They are the perfect army to fight through the deep roads. Or across Olay. Now they are bound to my master.
That's all I needed to know.
Oh, please. The Elder One showed me how to deal with you, in the event you're foolish enough to interfere again. That mark you bear, the anchor that lets you pass safely through the veil, you stole that from my master. He's been forced to seek other ways to access the Fade. When I bring him your head, his gratitude will be... Ah! Kill them!
That went well.
As you feared, the mages who completed the ritual are under the thrall of Corypheus.
And the Warden warriors? Oh, of course. It's not real blood magic until someone gets sacrificed.
Human sacrifice, demon summoning. Who looks at this and thinks it's a good idea?
The fearful and the foolish.
Despite their lack of wisdom, they acted out of necessity.
All blood mages do. Everyone has a story they tell themselves to justify bad decisions. And it never matters. In the end, you are always alone with your actions.
In the direction Eramon fled, the only structure of note is an abandoned Warden fortress, Adamant. I suspect we'll find the Wardens there. I suppose it's fortunate a friend once gave me some old maps.
Good thinking.
The Warden and I will scout out Adamant and confirm that the other Wardens are there. We'll meet you back at Skyhold.
I read Liliana's report. Her people infiltrated the League of Assassins targeting you. The contract on your life has been destroyed. You should be safe now.
And thus we outwit the House of Repose.
Should we have waited for an assassin to sneak through instead?
I've no doubt that the guild was staffed by vicious men and women, Inquisitor. It's simply... Did I ever mention I used to be a bard?
You were a singer?
Bards entertain the Orlesian court. They sing, play music, make charming conversation, and spy. Many young nobles put on a mask and practice playing the game in such a fashion.
What made you interested in becoming a bard?
I was attending a university in Valroyo when I learned about bards. There was such an air of romance about them. Stories of secrets, trysts, and fascinating people. A group of us, young gentry from Antiva, decided this exciting life was for us.
You seem a bit steady for such an outgoing lifestyle.
The life of an entertainer didn't suit me at all. During one particular intrigue, I encountered a bard sent to kill my patron. Knew him. We'd attended parties together. If I'd stopped to reason, if I'd used my voice instead of scuffling like a common thug, I'll always wonder who that young man would have grown into.
He seemed willing enough to murder you for the game.
Perhaps. I feel I'm the last to judge whether or not he would have actually used the blade. In all the commotion... forgive me, I don't believe I ever thanked you for helping me with this.
Hold on to it. Don't lose sight of why you came here.
I will never forget you helped save the House of Montilyet, Inquisitor. And should you ever visit Antiva, stories of the welcome we'll give you will be told for years.
I can keep staring at this, but I won't get any closer.
Something I can help you with?
Yes. Possibly. We saw so many Red Templars at the assault on Haven. Perhaps all that was left of the Order. What we didn't see was Lord Seeker Lucius. Indeed, I've seen no hint of any Seekers amongst the Red Templars, or anywhere. I have a growing suspicion Corypheus has imprisoned them.
Why imprisoned? He could just as easily have killed them.
Not easily. But yes, they may be dead. But the Seekers began this war against the Mages. They cannot have simply vanished. There must be a trail we can follow, yet so far I have only discovered hints.
But they could have ended up just like the Red Templars.
Seekers do not use lyrium. I assume Corypheus gained control of the Templars by corrupting the lyrium they were already taking. To do the same to a Seeker, you'd have to force the lyrium upon him. That may be what happened, but it couldn't have begun that way. We're missing a piece of the puzzle, Inquisitor. I need to find it.
Finding them obviously means a lot to you.
I left the Order, but I can never abandon them. I cannot even claim that rescuing them would be beneficial. They wouldn't look kindly on the Inquisition. But even so, if there's a chance... If we can spare resources to follow up on these leads, Inquisitor, I would appreciate it.